VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you're looking for more sports betting discussion around your local teams, BetRivers has you covered. They've launched a series of CityCasts designed to tackle sports betting from the local perspective. CityCast in Chicago, Denver, Detroit, L.A., New York, Philly, Pittsburgh, and now Washington, D.C. Subscribe to your local CityCast wherever you get your podcast. Thanks to Ian, Struz has gone over 2.5 threes in 11 of his last 15.
Is that right? Okay. Hence the minus, 170, I think I said on that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. For real or Fugazi? First time we'll trot this out here on Follow the Money and throw a bunch of different gambling topics out there. Pauly, per Buster Olney, Major League Baseball reporter on ESPN, he reported this yesterday. Rival execs say Nats may be compelled and motivated to move Juan Soto this season. He's 23 years old. Do you think this report is for real or is it Fugazi?
No, it's. I don't think he would make it up. I think yes, and that'd be real and spectacular. Whoever gets him, guy's a star player. I thought he should have won the MVP last year.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't. You can never really get fair value for these guys too in baseball.
You really can't.
I mean, how many times you see big stars trade? It's like that's all they got for him.
Yeah, of course.
That'd be a mistake.
Okay, so
compelled and motivated to move him.
Yep. So Soto getting traded, and you can't say this about too many players, I think, in the sport, would change the entire future market. I mean, if he would go to the American League, whichever contender that would be, and reports say it's the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays could be all in on him.
Oh.
That's from several reports that I read last night. In the National League.
What's the compensation?
Well.
Was it floated at anyone?
I didn't even.
What would it take?
For the Blue Jays side, they're going to have to give up, a ton of prospects. I did see some names mentioned if he's traded within the National League, and the Padres are the team that was kicked around by everybody yesterday. Like C.J. Abrams is their top prospect. He was kicked around along with Mackenzie Gore. That'd be the starting price for the Padres to give up. But if I'm the Padres, I say, I don't even blink. I'm like, of course, these are great prospects. You can have them. We want Juan Soto.
Take the sure thing.
Of course.
You don't know, right.
He's 23 years old. This would change. At one point this year, they bat him second in the order, which is now a common thing because you put your best hitter there. At one point this year, he had 8 home runs and 11 RBIs. Nobody gets on base in front of the guy. That's it. Come on.
It's like the Wiggins Love thing. Wiggins was the number one pick, whatever he was.
Yeah,
the number one pick, and then we can have Kevin Love, who's an all-star?
Sure.
Got to make that trade on principle.
Yeah, Wiggins never played a second in the NBA.
Wow.
Okay, we'll take our chances here.
Jesus, you're winning. You're going to the playoffs every year. You win the World Series, and now it's there goes Max. There goes. Strasburg's always hurt. To get rid of Soto.
I got to tell you, I mean, to trade 23 years old, arguably like, well, it's not. You can't even debate it. He's like a top 3, top 5 player in the entire sport.
Yes.
He's that good. Imagine if he goes to the Padres and they bring back Tatis sometime in June. Machado, lineup.
Look at Hosmer's numbers.
Yeah, having a nice season.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
Real or Fugazi? Not only will Deshaun Watson be suspended this year, it's going to be at least 5-6 games.
Well, I think that is for real. I'm not going to be surprised if it's 4, but he is most definitely going to get suspended.
They're meeting with him. It's not good. They're leaking testimony of he had one of the massages, and the girl cried, and he had to call and apologize. They asked, why was she crying, though? And he said, I don't know, but then she was the first girl to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's Josina Anderson.
This is big.
Regarding the future of the situation in Cleveland, the word I keep hearing over and over is precedent. You have to look at every single case that touched those areas in the personal conduct policy on sexual misconduct. That precedent is either the floor or the minimum. NFL source on Trevor Bauer. Look at what happened to Bauer and what baseball did. If people don't think that's on their radar, on people's radar, and public opinion matters, you think the NFL wants to be the organization that says sexual misconduct against women means more to one league than the other?
Cool.
Think about it. Absolutely, I agree with them. The other thing, 2 things. Number 1, they might have to kiss and make up with Baker Mayfield if this guy gets 6 games.
And you think Mayfield's going to say, okay, that's cool, we'll come back?
Not if he believes that they set him up to fail and made him look ridiculous on the Monday night game on purpose. But that'll be hard, but no one's going to give him that kind of money. But the other thing is Mike Florio had this Pro Football Talk. The Dolphins were going to trade for Watson. The stipulation was you have to settle the 22 cases. He was only able to settle 18 of them. And then just like, well, if I can't do all 22, that's it. He should have settled 18 of them. But the Dolphins were under the impression that he was going to get 6 games. And they were confident in the number. So it also could be one of these where we'll give you 4, and then when this plays out and we'll see in the upcoming months, then we can always go back and revisit it. It is one of those.
It is difficult to predict what Goodell and the NFL will do with suspensions. You never really know. But based on the precedent that they've set, I mean, it has to be a minimum of 4 games. It has to be, right? With what they've done with other players in the league. And then if it's more than that, I don't think you're going to be surprised. Look, the Browns are the shortest shot to win.
This is ridiculous.
They're going to win the North?
No. From a betting standpoint, that's lunacy. They're as low as plus 175. He's getting suspended.
I would like to find a no on that right now.
They took all this time to gather information and talk to people. Now they're talking to him. Now when they meet with him, and what's he going to say? I mean, this leaked, what is it?
Testimony?
Deposition.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
By the way,
this is, I mean, why are you reaching out to this gal? Why is she crying after she gave you a massage? What in the world happened?
So, for the record, the Westgate here in Las Vegas, they posted every single game in the NFL yesterday. You can bet the point spread on every single game. They put up Week 18 numbers. And by the way, that includes, and I had to do a double check, right? Double take. They have every single game up for the Browns. So you can go there and fade the Browns if you would like in the first 6 weeks.
Yep, sorry, they're 4.5 at Carolina. And also, do you like the Jets over 5.5? That's heavy steam. That's up over minus 150 now. Well, the Jets play them in week 2.
That's right.
I mean, that's huge. If you like the Jets over, or just take the points, period.
They did sign Jacoby Brissett in the offseason as well. That kind of tells me that Mayfield's not going to be back, regardless of what happens with Watson. And I don't think Baker Mayfield's the kind of guy that's going to be, he holds a grudge against everybody.
Yes, he does.
So, Yankees pitcher Nestor Cortes is second in all of baseball for ERA among qualified pitchers, 7th in FIP, 10th in XFIP. His 1.2 WAR ranks 9th. He's around 16-1 to win the American League Cy Young. Is this for real or Fugazi?
Oh, absolutely real. I can't believe it's still that high. Now, Verlander's getting it done. He's off to a great start. Gossman, bit of a hit yesterday. But this is he's doing it every single day out there. Game in, game out, what he's doing. The entire Yankee staff is doing it. They win every day, it seems. Mm-hmm. But absolutely. I think there's still value in this guy to win a Cy Young.
So
it's been filthy.
Yeah, after his first start this year, I looked at every single book that I could find, right? And he was not on the board. And then eventually, he was posted. The best number available was 60-1. I'm like, I need to see a little bit more from him. So I missed the 60-1, but he went to 45, to 40, to 25. Now he's down to that 14, 15, 16-1 range. Guy's been lights out.
Yeah, what was it, 2-3 times? He's had a no-no late in the games? Yes.
Striking out a ton of batters. And finally, like next week, Top Gun Maverick hits theaters. It's been, 35 years in the making, I should say. We got an email from Scott that his offshore book was offering a prop months ago. Will there be a beach volleyball scene in Top Gun Maverick? The yes was 12-1. You had to bet it on principle. I'm sure it had a small limit, but actually it was taken down and settled on Sunday or Monday. He thinks a bookmaker or two saw the advanced screening. It was graded no. There was a beach football scene in the film, not beach volleyball.
Oh, God.
How about that?
Christ.
But you
can't do that. I mean, Cruz isn't. Well, how old is that guy now?
I bet you he's still. I bet you he's ripped.
Yeah,
he's almost 60 years old.
Yeah, I'm ready for Mission Impossible. Yeah. What's the kid's name? Miles. What's his name? Teller. I don't know about him.
But you're still.
Apparently, he's good in The Offer. This is supposed to be dynamite.
That's what I hear too.
This mob thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be very good.
So you're not stoked to go see Maverick Top Gun?
No,
okay.
No.
On a side note, more of these markets should be available for us to bet on.
Yes.
When a TV show doesn't get, like Ozark, right? When all 10 episodes are dropped in the same day. Like, I want to be able to bet on what's going to happen next Monday night on Better Call Saul. I want to have a couple of props out there.
What are the limits, though?
It doesn't matter. Put up. I don't care.
In Nevada?
Yeah. And
put $20 limits?
Put up $100 limits. Entertain us. I want to be entertained by having some action on it. It's a nothing bet, obviously.
Okay, then you just see what you're made of as a bookmaker.
Yeah.
If who dies? It's like if you see a couple limit bets right off the bat, you say, okay.
I'm fine with that.
Gonna move that. Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any book would put up a $500 limit. They're not going to put up a dime limit.
Yes.
There's no question. But to have a little piece, make some bets on it. You can get creative with it.
Several places did that with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, how many people would really know that when you have to sign confidentiality and all that other business.
Sure.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yep.
Real.
Good. The first hour of Follow the Money is brought to you exclusively by BetRivers, your hometown sportsbook. Get a 100% first deposit match now with the code 250MATCH. Must be 21 plus. The offer is not valid in all areas. Check betrivers.com for full offer details and rules. A Wednesday night recap coming up next, and a look at tonight's card. Is that the zigzag theory that I hear walking down into the ring tonight? We will run that by you coming up next here on Follow the Money.